It has been a month since 6 people, including the shooter, were killed in a mass shooting in downtown Louisville.
WDRB's Stefan Johnson shows us the big show of support for officers who responded to that scene.
The officers from here inside LMPD's 1st Division were first on the scene of that mass shooting. And on Wednesday, they got a thank you from a Hollywood celebrity.
We knew immediately that this was a really serious situation.
Major Shannon Lauder is commander of LMPD's 1st Division.
Everybody in the building ran out the door.
She and her officers were first on the scene of the mass shooting at Old National Bank last month.
We've been getting letters and cards from kids, from people. Somebody sent some stamps from their stamp collection.
What you guys do day in and day out is not forgotten.
This week, another show of support.
Gary wants to make sure that you guys know we think about you every day.
I'm Lieutenant Dan Taylor. Welcome to 4th Platoon.
Actor Gary Sinise made a name for himself as Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump.
Lieutenant Dan!
They gave you the Congressional Medal of Honor.
But his real-life passion, helping veterans and first responders.
Gary obviously had his breakout with Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump in 1994, but Gary has been a humanitarian for 4 decades now.
Wednesday, representatives from the Gary Sinise Foundation brought lunch to officers from LMPD's 1st Division.
As far as Gary is concerned and the Gary Sinise Foundation, there's just something different about feeding the individuals and shaking their hand.
The organization also donated $10,000 to the Metro Police Foundation.
That $10,000 is going to make a huge impact to our LMPD officers and their families.
Rebecca Grignon-Reeker is executive director of the Metro Police Foundation and says the donation will help support the organization's mission.
Obviously, my favorite program that we have is our Officer in Distress Fund, which helps individual officers and their families in the event of a catastrophic event or injury.
Meanwhile, Officer Nick Wilt is still recovering from the mass shooting.
So it was only his 4th day in the division because he had just graduated the academy.
But Major Lauder is confident his fellow officers won't hesitate to answer the next call.
And they'll do the same thing they do every day. You know, they run towards danger when everybody else runs away.
After leaving the 1st Division, the Gary Sinise Foundation made 2 more stops here in Louisville. With photojournalist Chad Kentliner, I'm Stefan Johnson, WDRB News.